Loretta Graziano Breuning, Habits of a Happy Brain, retrain your brain to boost your serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin, endorphin levels. Are you ready to unlock the secrets to lifelong happiness? In Habits of a Happy Brain, Loretta Graziano Breuning delves deep into the chemicals within our brain that influence our emotional well-being. This summary will explore the roles of 4 key happiness chemicals: dopamine, endorphin, oxytocin, and serotonin, and how our limbic system shapes the way we perceive and experience happiness. Moreover, you'll discover how our neural pathways and habits are formed in childhood and how specific experiences trigger the release of these chemicals. Prepare to gain insights into how you can retrain your brain for optimal happiness and satisfaction in life.
Unlocking Brain's Happiness Code. True happiness may seem elusive, but it's rooted in our brain's limbic system, which controls the release of happy chemicals like dopamine, endorphin, oxytocin, and serotonin. Connected to our survival instincts, these chemicals give us a natural high when we experience positive events. However, our brains don't inherently know when to release them. It is our experiences and neural pathways that determine what brings us joy. These pathways are primarily built when we're young, shaping our happiness triggers through learned connections between pleasant experiences and positive emotions. For instance, if eating a cookie as a child provided comfort in times of hunger, our brain formed a connection between the cookie and happiness, prompting us to reach for one in moments of emotional distress. Ultimately, it's our past experiences that hold the key to unlocking the happiness signals in our brain. Unraveling our happy chemicals. The mysteries of our limbic system become clearer when we examine our happy chemicals, dopamine and endorphins. Dopamine is responsible for motivating us to pursue rewards, fueling our excitement and energy to obtain them. Our brains are consistently scanning the environment for potential rewards, ready to release dopamine when they're detected. Endorphins, on the other hand, are released in response to physical pain, masking discomfort and allowing us to push beyond our limitations. This remarkable survival mechanism enhances our ability to fight or flee despite injuries. Both chemicals play integral roles in our overall well-being, each contributing to the intricate dance of our emotions and reactions. Social bonds and our happy chemicals. Our happiness is deeply connected to the relationships we form with others, thanks to the chemicals oxytocin and serotonin. These happy chemicals help build trust, create and maintain social bonds, and even drive our instincts for power and dominance. Oxytocin fosters social connections from birth, building the attachment between parent and child. Meanwhile, serotonin encourages us to assert our positions within the social hierarchy, often through dominance. Despite modern values promoting kindness and fairness, our brain still rewards us when we achieve a position of power and respect. There's a strong likelihood that if you were asked to list 3 things that bring you joy, one answer would involve your friends, family, or colleagues. But have you ever wondered why that is? It all comes down to the release of specific chemicals in our brains that make us feel good. The first of these neural culprits is oxytocin. This fantastic chemical rewards you for forming solid connections with others, creating that incredible feeling of trust and companionship. In fact, all instances of social belonging generate oxytocin release because group membership has always been vital for our survival. Not only does oxytocin promote cordial relations among people, but it also plays an essential role in our social growth from the moment we're born. When a child arrives in this world, oxytocin is released in the mother's brain, prompting her to care for her baby. Likewise, this chemical flows through the child's brain, strengthening the bond between parent and offspring. Although oxytocin is influential in creating social bonds, it's not the only player in the game. Serotonin, another powerful chemical, is unleashed when we assert our presence in the social order by exerting authority over others. The majority of individuals may not openly accept that domination brings satisfaction, mainly due to societal norms that emphasize fairness and empathy. However, our brains reward us whenever others acknowledge our esteemed position in the social hierarchy. Taking these happy chemicals into account, we can begin to understand their influence in shaping our lives and driving our pursuit of happiness through social connections, trust, and even power. Embracing unhappy chemicals. Unhappy chemicals like cortisol are essential for our survival, despite the discomfort they cause. They help draw our attention to potential threats and motivate us to mitigate those risks. The release of cortisol occurs continually and in response to various situations, as our brain is always looking for potential dangers. Rational analysis and prediction are functions of the cortex, which works hand in hand with the limbic system, ensuring our survival by constantly assessing potential threats. Though we may grumble about the unpleasant feelings brought on by unhappy chemicals, they play a vital role in our survival. Cortisol, for instance, focuses our attention on factors that may threaten our well-being. It's the driving force that propels you to find nourishment when you're hungry and also encourages you to seek activities that boost your happiness. While you might assume that the release of cortisol only occurs in response to significant concerns, it's actually constantly present in our system. Our brain is hardwired to search out potential threats, whether they are immediate or far off. This means that even when you think you're back to your natural state, there's likely something lingering in your mind that you feel you need to address. Collaborating with the limbic system, the cortex is the component of our brain that handles rational analysis and danger evaluation. Working non-stop, the cortex helps us identify and predict threats, thus contributing to our survival. As a result, our brain is perpetually considering potential risks and struggles, whether it's a dentist appointment, work assignment, or a forgotten birthday. Escaping the happiness trap. The pursuit of happiness can be a double-edged sword. While certain activities release happy chemicals in our brain, they can become routine and lose their charm. This process, known as habituation, has an evolutionary purpose to encourage us to seek new experiences and enhance our survival. However, the dangers lie in the potential to enter a vicious cycle of disappointment due to our brain's natural tendency to repeat strategies that have worked before. Recognizing this pattern and seeking alternative ways to sustain happiness is essential to avoid pitfalls such as addiction. Every individual has a personal list of experiences that bring joy and satisfaction. Regrettably, the happiness derived from these activities is often short-lived due to the natural process of habituation. Habituation occurs when our brain's attempts to chase happiness reach a plateau after it has become used to a particular routine. Although it can seem disheartening when things that once brought elation no longer do so, it's essential to understand that this is an inherent aspect of human nature, designed to promote survival by forcing us to seek new adventures. An excellent example of mitigating habituation is the French Laundry restaurant in California. By offering a series of small, unique dishes, patrons are continually exposed to new flavors, preventing their brains from becoming accustomed and ensuring a continuous release of dopamine and pleasure. Sadly, our brain's inability to understand the diminishing returns from repeated experiences can cause disappointment when high expectations go unmet. This can result in a destructive cycle that follows previously successful strategies, even when they've already led to discontent. Alarmingly, this susceptibility can manifest in reliance on potentially harmful substances and behaviors, like drugs, alcohol, or junk food. They may bring short-term happiness but ultimately contribute to further disappointment or addiction. To break free from this trap, it is crucial to recognize the patterns and adopt alternative ways to maintain happiness that avoid pitfalls and lead to a more gratifying, sustainable state of being. Mastering brain's neural highways. Vicious cycles may seem difficult to break, but understanding the workings of neural circuits will empower us with the ability to alter our actions. Neural circuitry forms through our experiences and is influenced by myelination. Myelin coats frequently used neurons, making actions following those pathways feel more natural. This process mostly occurs before the age of 15, explaining why changing habits or learning new skills in adulthood is challenging. However, we possess free will to adapt our neural circuits. Our prefrontal cortex enables us to direct attention, providing control over our brain's neurochemical influences. To triumph over undesirable impulses, it's vital to identify opportunities for change and focus on creating new, positive experiences that strengthen healthier neural pathways. Rewire your brain for happiness. The journey towards genuine happiness can begin by understanding that it takes only 45 days to build new neural pathways. With persistence, you can form habits that consistently trigger the release of happy chemicals in your brain. Even if the process seems challenging initially, observing and mirroring those who possess positive habits, like laughing, can aid in integrating these behaviors into your daily routine. Ultimately, these new practices will gracefully transform your path to happiness. Embarking on the path to happiness may initially feel overwhelming, especially when it involves altering your brain's neurocircuitry. But fear not, with just a bit of patience, you can gain a greater control over your happiness. The secret? It takes merely 45 days to establish a new neural pathway leading to happiness. When attempting to adopt new habits, persistence is the key. If you maintain your new habit consistently for 45 days, it will become internalized, making it feel like second nature. For instance, although it might be tough to break from your favorite TV show in favor of studying at first, sticking to it will eventually make your brain reward you with happiness-inducing chemicals whenever you engage in the new activity. Through the 45-day strategy, you can accumulate habits that trigger the release of feel-good chemicals in your life. Laughter, for instance, sets off endorphin production. By finding daily humor, you'll discover that laughter, along with the endorphin boost it provides, will seamlessly blend into your daily routine. However, those 45 days may not always be smooth. If integrating new habits proves arduous, observing and mirroring individuals with positive habits in their daily lives offers a useful approach. If you wish to incorporate more laughter into each day, closely observe that colleague who radiates joy throughout the office. By examining their behavior and mirroring it, you'll indeed uncover strategies to experience humor each day. Gradually, happiness will become your new normal. Embracing choices, pursuing happiness. Our complex neural structure assists in our survival, but can also hinder our ability to recognize and enjoy the good things in life. Life is a continuous process of weighing risks and making choices, which can be overwhelming. To effectively manage your own happiness, stay in control of your decisions and refrain from letting others make choices for you. This empowers you to experience true joy and achievement, as well as recognize that we often desire what we don't have, regardless of who is making the decisions.
In conclusion, understanding the chemistry behind happiness is crucial to unlocking a fulfilling and content life. The 4 key happiness chemicals, dopamine, endorphin, oxytocin, and serotonin, are essential tools that our brain uses in shaping our emotions and behaviors. By learning how our neural pathways and habits are formed and establishing new, positive habits, we can start to rewire our brain and create lasting happiness. Understanding the significance of both happy and unhappy chemicals is key to maintaining a balance in our lives. With patience, persistence, and a greater understanding of our brain, we can take control of our happiness and lead a life filled with joy, connection, and purpose.